Warning, spoilies ahead. We're the best of both worlds. We're like Reese's peanut butter cup. Reese's Pieces is what we're like.
Yes.
Give me a piece of that Reese.
That should be their new slogan.
Yeah. Yo, break me off a piece of that Reese. That one goes out to a special friend of ours, Ryan Rowland. Every time you see him, be sure to give him a big old piece of any Reese you got. Hello, welcome to Two Guys, One Film, part of the Project Nerd Podcast Network. I am Dylan.
And I'm Dane. And this week, we watched the 94 movie Wolf. It's a horror romance. Well, it's described as a horror romance, and I guess...
Kind of is, actually, yeah.
Yeah. It's directed by Mike Nichols, writers Jim Harrison and Wesley Strick. We got some decent stars in this one.
Dude, this is a banger of a cast, dude.
We got the Jack Nicholson, we got the Michelle Pfeiffer, and we got the Spader, the James Spader himself. And this is
it's got Christopher Plummer too, dude.
Oh yeah. And this is a movie about a guy who is a like editor-in-chief at a publishing place who gets bit by a wolf, and then he's battling it out with a younger dude who's a butthole trying to take his job.
Protege who he's a dick squeezer. He's James Spader. He always plays a shitty guy, except for like Stargate. She was like kind of a good guy there, but he's good. I mean, when
he's good at being a
turd.
Guy, it's like most of the time he's dropping lines, and I'm just like, God, what a turd! Like,
tell me what I want. Tell me what I should do. Tell me what I should do. I do have to say too, this movie is called Jack Nicholson Whispers because I had to put it on.
Oh my God!
Like, yeah, I have this problem, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It's like, okay, man.
What?
I don't know how to hurt anybody, so I'm gonna.
I had to crank the volume on this. So. Actually, everybody talked very quietly in this movie.
It's a loud movie, other than the dialogue, which there's a couple jump scares. It gets you, but with sound.
Yeah,
there's a great transition. Intro to the movie after he hits the wolf, pokes it with a stick, as one tends to do, is poke things with a stick.
That's what I do.
Oh, all the time. He goes home, and like there's that growling wolf in the mirror. And then it's the howling sound, like gargling. And then, it fades to him gargling water and spits it out. It was a fucking sick transition.
Where it sounds like the wolf is like growling and it's just him, like, just him gargling, just him being an actual wolf. When the like right at the beginning scene, I wanted to ask you this. Did it look like sped up footage to you, or do you think that was like, when it's just like pointing at the trees, like right in the beginning?
Oh yeah, that's definitely sped up. Yeah, I kind of noticed the same
like
thing.
What the hell? Like why? And also, what the hell's wrong with his car's defrost?
Having lived in Colorado, not currently, but having lived in Colorado, there were many, many times I would drive to work in the snow like that, 2 a.m. in a shitty Honda Civic 89 inside defrosters don't work, so it's like I had to do the same fucking thing. And then by the time the window defrosted, I was at work.
I forgot about that.
So like I feel the pain. I was like, dude, I've been there. I've fucking been there, dude.
I am so thankful for good defrosters. Wow. I was just like, what is going on?
But yeah, that was definitely some sped up footage. So that's all right. It's good.
Oh yeah. If you would have hit that wolf, would you have gotten out of the car? Like, would you get out of the car if you hit any animal?
Like I would not. I love animals. I've hit a couple and I've always like freaked out and screamed after I've done it. But I don't spin out of control. I don't go out there. I don't poke it with the stick. And then I sure as shit do not try to drag it off of the road, you know?
I had that, like, there was just so much going on in this beginning scene. I'm like, would anybody do that? I don't think I would want to touch a wolf. I wouldn't think that it was dead.
Well, that's why you got to poke it with the stick first.
He did. It tricked him.
I do like that it opened its eye for a second,
Yeah.
and peeked around and
Like,
closed
looks
it.
around.
But I don't know if you noticed, the building they use for the publishing place is the apartment from J.F. Sebastian in Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner.
No, I didn't.
With a "You home again? These are my friends. I made them." That's his apartment. Is that same building?
That.
Oddly enough, was also in a Genesis video for Tonight, I believe, because Phil Collins loved that movie and that building so much. He's like, let's use it. And also, I've known it was used in a Quantum Leap episode where Sam Beckett travels to like the 40s, where he's like a PI, like a private detective.
Man,
it's a famous building. It's here in LA. I might go see it.
Dude, if you do, you need to take a picture with it, like touching it, like this is where the wolf was done,
This is where Blade Runner was done. Yeah. This is where Quantum Leap was done. This is where Genesis was done.
Nice. That's awesome. You're good at figuring out the architecture. You also talked about the mall. And
I recognize buildings. There's one, I don't know if I didn't look into it, but Christopher Plummer's house almost looked like Batman's house from The Dark Knight and like Batman Begins, like Chris Nolan's Batman. It's probably just some fucking mansion, but it looked the same. Like, is that Batman's house? Is that a mansion?
You have an eye for movie houses, show houses.
Yes. It's my calling. I should be a famous house real estate agent.
You can
this
sit on
one
a panel.
Was in this movie.
You can sit on a panel and talk about the houses and buildings that were in movies.
I'm David Byrne. I love making songs about houses and buildings. It's very deep Talking Heads joke there, people.
I liked that awesome fake wolf.
That's good. That's some good amateur. I mean, it's better than getting a real wolf. So.
Well, yeah. I like it. Looked so I don't know, I guess 94. Trying to think of what else was out in 94 that had like
Jurassic Park came out and they have great animatronics, but it's a budget thing. Like,
oh, that's true. I didn't look at the budget for this.
I will say I'm super impressed by him, because in any other movie, if you got bit by like a werewolf, you just shrug it off the rest of the movie, like, oh no, it's fine. He goes to the doctor the next day, gets it checked out, goes there like again when he like has that like episode where he goes out and kills that deer. Like, the dude goes to the doctor. He even researches. He has that guy that like writes books about this, like the shaman and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he prepared, like he was like wanting to learn more about this instead of any other horror movie. Like, it's probably nothing as it gets worse. I was like, fuck yeah, go to the doctor.
My hand is only growing hair, but
I trim it over the toilet, which
I was just like, dude, this is like, dude, you're whacking it too much, man. that's what happens. The trimming it part. That's what I thought. I was like, yuck. But I like when he's talking to his doctor the first time and he's telling him about the dude that what happened to that dude that got brain damage, and he's like, "Well, is he all right?"
He has brain damage.
No, he's brain damage.
I fucking love that line. Of course, they share a cigar, and in any movie or any TV show, and someone smokes a cigar, they do 2 puffs and they throw it away.
Just whip it away. And it's funny because he goes like, "Oh yeah, the horses don't like cigar smoke," and he's like, "Oh, it's cool. I'm gonna finish it," and then he just throws it. And I'm like, that's how you finish a cigar.
Well, that's because he got demoted, and then he found out James Spader was asking for his job instead of being a cool guy going, "Oh, I'm leaving with you." Nope, he asked for your job.
He was a butthole. I love how he just like tells him, "Oh man, yeah, he was like begging me every day. He was like always bothering me about it, and And then he goes in there. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't even know. What? Dude, what happened? Like, I didn't even know." Like, he's the one, like, he's gonna call me or something. And yeah,
he got this to me this morning. He told me that he cornered me, so I had no choice. You say the word and I won't do it.
Do you want me to do it? Well, it's funny because like, doesn't he tell him later on? I'm jumping around in the movie, and he goes like, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do
Yeah, it's like
it.
what
I'm
do
just gonna do it."
you want me to resign? You want me to tell you to leave her alone? It's like, yeah, I want you to resign. He's like, well, I'm not going to do that. Why did I
Yeah,
ask? It's like, well, you tell me, buddy.
right.
There was one good jump scare that got me, and it was just a really cool shot in general. When he's going to bed with his wife, it like pans over, and then suddenly it clicks to daylight, and the alarm
Oh, the
clock's going off.
alarm.
I was like,
Yeah, that
whoa,
got me
shit,
too.
that got me, dude. That was a good fucking jump scare.
30 more minutes.
Did his hair get darker through the movie and start getting thicker?
See, that's what I was thinking, but I mean, I think so because he said he was like feeling younger and he's like hearing and all like hearing really well and stuff. I'm jumping around again. You know how he gets that amulet? Like if he were to keep that thing and not become the wolf, because it looked like it was kind of working, like would he still keep the hearing and like the sense of smell and stuff, or would it just like completely like suck it out of you?
I don't know, because the guy just said it helped keep the wolf at bay. So
But
I'm wondering if
sometimes
like
it
you can,
could take it away altogether. He also
yeah.
said that.
So it's like maybe you could do it in small doses, but if you use the power too much, you lose it. But yeah, like it was working at the end there, and then he had to rip it off to save it. Well, just
In a
way too
heat of
far ahead
passion.
in the.
Yeah.
So apparently, becoming a wolf makes you read faster.
Right.
Like he
Well,
no
see,
glasses, which
I
was
thought
great
about that, but I mean, like he's editor in chief. All he does is read. So I mean, the more you do it, like the faster you get at it.
because that dude was like speed
I know.
reading. And then David Hyde Pierce is like, "What'd you get? Contacts?" And he's like, "And you did like 60 pages already this morning." And he's just like, "Oh," and then gets up and just walks out like, "Hey, you're right."
Hey, you're right. What the hell's going on with me? Then he
And
goes
that
out
guy
there.
with
I
the
could
whole
hear
like
like all kinds of stuff. Oh, the tequila.
tequila, yeah. Don't tell people you put a drop in your coffee. You didn't have coffee this morning.
I'm Jack Nicholson.
Spaghetti and meatballs. What I really loved was when his wife is out of town,
Mhm.
and like apparently stew gets you going. What was in that stew? Am I right?
Yeah. Mm.
He goes to James Spader's house because he like smelled her
Yeah.
robe, like smelled her on there. I really
Yeah.
loved him pacing outside of the
I
door,
did too.
kind of like a dog behind like a cage or something. I'm like, that's fucking cool, dude. Like,
You know,
and
like
then the
looking
way
in
he
there.
like runs up the stairs, I
Well,
was like,
first
I
he's
used to do
running
that
like
as a
normal, and then
kid.
he just goes and like pounces up the stairs.
There was a lot of like unnecessary like jumping around wire
Well,
work, but it
yeah,
looked cool.
yeah, like that. That to me was one of the cooler things of this movie. I think that's one of the things that like when I was younger and saw it, I was like, oh man, look at him be like a wolf, man. That'd be sick to be able to jump like, brah, like would like I don't know. I mean, can wolves jump really high?
I feel like they could. I mean, there's a lot of leg muscle, but I feel like this is like enhancing the human
Yeah,
in
that's like
you. So it's
yeah.
like, being
Since you're already, you don't have to be on all
superhuman,
fours, but you could be on all fours, and if you are, then even more powerful.
more power
Jumping
to
from
you.
all fours.
I got four wolf power in this
Yeah,
puppy.
I am the puppy.
I like how he's just like slowly turning into Wolverine,
Yeah.
getting like the mutton chops and the hairs all up.
Except for like the
He is
bottom teeth.
smoking cigars.
Oh, and
He
yeah.
just needs to say bub all the time, and he's Wolverine.
Well, he does look like he also gets like thinner
Mhm.
through the movie, like more fit and stuff.
Yeah,
Because like in the beginning, like when they show him, he's like wearing his pants like really high up and stuff, and they make him look pretty old. Like I don't know how old he was in this.
they did a good job making him like it. I think he does get his hair back because he does the I'm not just the president of Hair Club for Men. I'm also like a customer and all something. Because yeah, like it's getting so
Yeah.
like dark and thick towards the end there. The fact that there needed to be a stunt double for him to run through the woods says a lot about Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, I'm not running. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because
You
like
think I'm gonna run through the woods like that?
it had
No.
like a weird mask for the guy in the woods, and it was like
Yeah.
such a weird thing. I'm like, that's not Jack Nicholson. He's just like jumping over through
Yeah.
like a creek, and Jack's like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Get a
Yeah.
stunt double.
Nope. Nope.
Jack, we need you to run through. Nope, not in my contract, baby. I'm Jack Nicholson. Let me whisper this to you right here, pal. I'm not gonna run through the woods. What do you think about the soundtrack to this movie?
I don't know. Like
It it was it fit at times because it made it like fantasy and like mystical, but then it
Some
also
of it
made
made
it
it feel
comedic at the end.
yeah.
There was like this trumpet when he's fighting James Spader. It's like it sounded like some
Yeah,
40s like movie. I was like, no, this is not the this should be for a scene that's like an
like
intimate
because
scene, like
there
a
you're right. There was a yeah, because there was parts where it just felt like the music might have been a little too happy or not intense enough. And I know what you're talking about with the fight.
the
Yeah.
trumpet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it should have been more of like maybe strings and a little bit more,
More
because I mean,
cellos and bass and clarinets,
it was still intense with their fighting and all, I
Mhm.
guess.
But yeah, it worked in parts. It made it more of a fantasy. I feel like if you would have thrown a lot of like synthesizers and made it like sound super 80s horror, it would have been like really goofy.
Yeah.
So like I think I get why they tried to do like more of a traditional score, but like take the fucking trumpets out at the end. It was bad.
Do you think it like if you like had gotten like that like hearing so quickly, like do you think it would kind of drive you nuts at first, like being able to hear so much all the time?
Yeah, I think it's like the Superman thing where like you're still learning to use your powers. So like all you would hear is just like constant talking. So you have to like learn to focus and like control your super hearing. Like, yeah, I'd be like fucking pissed off because I couldn't sleep. I'd be like
Yeah, I
hearing
know.
noises. Like I get why dogs bark at like fire trucks now because you're like, man, it's fuck out loud.
Yeah, like well, and then do you think like earplugs would do anything?
I mean, maybe. I mean, do
Because I mean, you
earplugs
can't
really do
really put a
anything for us? So
yeah, you know.
to a point, you
Yeah,
get double the earplugs.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like you can put earplugs in a dog and ask them.
I want to know is how these cops got to the fucking zoo so fast and why it was so urgent. Like, did somebody call like someone's in the zoo? Because they come like hauling
They
in and they
called
like
what's his
instantly
name from Friends?
David Schwimmer.
Yeah, and then he gets his cuff stolen like a dope because he's a big
Oh,
old dopey David.
here's my cuffs. Oh,
Oh,
but yeah, like they got
was
there
this
so
was
fast.
I'm sitting here watching this. I'm like, was this the first thing he was in before he was in Friends?
This happened right before Friends, apparently. I had to look this up. I was like, man, this is like right before Friends. Some
Right.
goofball, and then he plays a
Yeah.
goofball for the next hundred
Yeah, we liked how
years.
goofy you were in Wolf.
Oh,
Can you do
thanks.
that in like
Oh
a
yeah.
show?
Oh yeah, geez, I think so. Oh, my cuffs are gone. Oh. I don't know why he sounds like the guy
Yeah, he's
from Cat's Eye
yeah.
suddenly. Oh, this is Sebastian. His cuffs are gone. I love when he gets the wake up call. And the lady's like, someone must have been a bad boy last night. And then he proceeds to tell her what he did for too long. I'm like, dude, she doesn't give a shit. She's just waking you up. And he's like, actually, I was a good boy. I went to bed early. I'm like, fucking speed
That
it
would
up,
have been
dude. I'm just like,
that would have
this
been
is just
great.
my
You got to
job.
do
Click.
part of your other that's going into the Dylan cut where you just hear hang up and he just sits there talking. Hello.
Yeah, just well, I guess I'll get another wig. I can't. My Jack Nicholson just sounds like Ronald Reagan. I can't do a Jack Nicholson.
They're one and the same.
Mm.
They're not, but close. They're pretty close, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I often, many times, get Jack Nicholson confused with Ronald Reagan. It's like, who's the one that I think it was Jacknomics, Nixonomics. No, yeah, Reaganomics. That's right.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
There
it
it is.
wasn't Nicholsonomics.
Well, I mean, all I mean is voice
Oh yeah,
ish. Like they are kind of still
yeah,
have that like that
yeah.
high.
I'm cool guy, all talking all the time. Just a real laid back kind of guy.
You don't seem laid back.
When he's swindling his way to get his job back, and David Hyde Pierce is like, "You're my god, I love you." I was like, "Dude, fuck yeah!" He's like sleazing his way back, and then
Yeah.
doesn't do the. He's like, "Don't tell anybody till we sign it." And then when he goes to the bathroom with James Spader, he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna get you that job. It's a pay cut." He's like, "No, I don't need that job. I'm taking this one." And he like gives
Yeah.
him the thing, pees on his shoes. Fucking loved it.
I know. What are you doing? Marking my territory.
Like these are suede, and he just goes
Like,
asparagus.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
And the way he like does it with his hands on his hips and he's just
Yeah.
like turning while he does it. That's a power
Yeah.
move, dude.
Yep,
That's a
right
power
there.
move. Hands on your hips, and I'm just like,
Territory marked
Mhm.
all over the floor, all over those shoes.
Asparagus.
Yeah. That's not coming out.
Oh yeah, he attacks those dudes in the
Oh, in the tunnel?
yeah, that was pretty cool because he was like, "Hey man, we need to borrow some." He's like, "How much do you want?" "I got $1,000 in my wallet. You want 10, 100?" And then he kills the guys.
Yeah. Well,
Spoiler.
did he kill him?
Like I don't know.
Because he like rips that dude's fingers off.
Yeah, and then the other guy runs away.
Yeah.
So
So I think he just gets his fingers ripped off or something.
I know
Because the
'cause I think
ladies, or did he?
I think he kills one of them because when Michelle Pfeiffer's in the police
Yeah,
station,
there's
at the
that
end,
lady
there's that
crying
lady.
about it.
Yeah. But I love is the next day, he for some reason didn't check his pockets all morning, was like, I have fingers in my pocket. Like, how do you
this is a yucky rag in my pocket, gross, which is probably all crusty at this point. How did you not feel that? And then gross fingers in your pocket.
like I check my pockets in the morning. It's usually I'm like they're finger free, but this time I'm just like, oops, I forgot to do my finger check my
Like if
pockets.
like I do check my pockets
Oh
because
yeah.
stuff goes in specific pockets before I go to work.
And I gotta make sure that pocket's filled with that thing
Yeah.
before I can walk out the door.
Phone, knife, wallet, keys, and
Fing-
pens and thing.
And fingers. Make sure
Yeah,
you got
and
your
fingers.
in
I
there.
always
Yeah.
keep a pair of ripped off fingers
You
with
never
me.
know. You never know.
You don't know when you're gonna need it. There's a ring on there too. Might need that.
Oh, sorry. I want to go back with like the whole like Michelle Pfeiffer and his like romance. It was cool to see him like be like a good guy through the beginning of the movie. Like even she was like, "You're a good guy," and like him going like, "Oh, you're safe. I'm married." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then he gets shit on by his fucking wife.
Yeah, that sucks.
Dude,
Like,
finds her
like
at
fucking
James Spader's.
like how weak is that? Like at the party, like going through all that shit. It's like, oh, what did you just get with him because like you were sitting there giving him a bunch of I told you should have done this shit like on the way home and he didn't.
It seems like they've been doing it for a while.
I know. Well, with the way when he comes back and she's like, oh, whoa, hey.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Yeah,
whoa, dude, weak.
The whole like peanut butter jelly and milk scene, that was fucking cool.
I liked that too.
Yeah, when he's like telling her what kind of man she wants and all this kind of stuff, and then they have that beautiful moment by the lake, you know.
Well, when she says it's funny because she kind of calls him out on his BS at that point. She's like, it's, don't try and be all like get in my head kind of crap, But I think at that point she realized I'm like a dummy at least.
She's a strong, independent woman.
But it's kind of it's a little bit on the refreshing side in the sense that it's romantic because he's not like a weirdly over aggressive dude like, oh, I'm totally gonna get with you kind of.
Mm-hmm.
He's he kind of plays like the geeky dude with her.
Yeah, which is cool because then he just like, even with him gaining these powers, he's just getting more, not confident and cocky. He's just like feeling better as a person for him to be able to like talk to this woman normally and not being like, hey, I'm a wolf now. I'm a smooth gentleman. He's just like, hey, I can express my feelings properly because now I have the blood of the wolf.
It's coursing through my veins. Wolf
and
blood, dude.
Her line when like she's talking about her brother that died, and she goes, he was okay for a little brother. And I was like, dude, fuck you. What does that mean? Me being a little brother, I thought I was pretty cool.
I wouldn't know. My little brothers are just okay.
Maybe I'm just okay.
Yeah,
too.
You're just okay for a little brother. I'm the oldest.
Fuck. You're all right for an oldest brother.
Dude, that hurts. Yeah, never
See,
mind.
doesn't
sorry,
it? Yeah,
bro.
it fucking hurts. And they're like, he was all right for a little brother. I'm like, dude, lady, he fucking killed himself.
I think being as the oldest sibling, like that kind of stuff is just to me like I was supposed to be the example setter of like when they got in trouble. You're supposed to be setting an example. Why are you like I got in trouble for them acting dumb because like I was supposed to be the one that already knew not to act like an idiot. Like my brother and sister listen to me. So that's the fun of being the oldest sibling.
I guess I just don't know. I'm okay for my brother.
Or them not letting you do stuff because you're like the test child, and then everybody else who's born after that gets to do whatever the hell they want because they're like, oh, it's safe enough, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that loser at the beginning found out it's okay. So
yeah,
Young kids can do what they want.
Yeah, that we'll go back to like the deer part.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. Like I loved how he was chasing that deer around.
It was cool because he was like doing that like cool,
Yeah.
like slow mo, like almost
And I
arms at the
like,
side running kind of a thing that he was doing.
and it's like I feel like I remember like learning about wolves somewhat where they would kind of like, chase you or chase what they were going after. I know they're pack animals and he was alone, but they would do the whole like coming at you from the side, like the surprise attack kind of thing.
Velociraptor style.
Yeah, and then I start thinking about raptors too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, it was
like,
really cool.
fucking cool when he just like dives off from it, and then the whole like that scene where he like kills it goes on a while.
Like first he bites it and then
Yeah.
decides to just go and break
Yeah.
its neck. I was like, whoa, okay, I guess that's a good quick death.
That's a quick death.
And then just
Well, I mean, not that. Well, I guess it wasn't all that quick. Considering he was sitting there, but all right.
have a heart, man. Come on.
This is screaming deer.
Yeah.
Cue Ryan's elk scream there.
Yeah, let me insert it here.
Yeah.
I remember once in Red Dead 2, I shot at a deer and it didn't die, it ran away.
Mhm.
And apparently they added this feature in Red Dead 2 I didn't know about, is it slowly died and was bleeding out and was on the ground making the worst fucking noises. And I had so much guilt in this game. I had to like go over there and put it out. It was so fucked up. I was like, why are you doing this in this game? It was making awful sounds, so I refused to hunt.
For realism.
Yeah, it was like, whoa, on the side of the river, so I just had to like put it out.
You got to just sit there going, just line of code, just line of code.
I stopped hunting after that, and ate only like canned pineapples and shit after that.
Oh, when she takes when Michelle Pfeiffer, I can't remember her name in the movie now. When she when she does finally take him in and he's like laying in that bed, he looks like he's gonna fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looks bad, and she seems
Yeah.
like a little too nonchalant about it, in my
Oh,
opinion.
you'll be fine. She's a psychologist, so you're fine, dude. You're in good hands.
Well, him too, though. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Oh,
all
give
good.
me
like
give me bacon in the morning. It's like, dude, you're
Yeah.
you're on death's door.
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna get
are-
anything.
I feel like you need to call an ambulance for him.
No, sleep in this cozy little cottage.
You're gonna be just
and
fine.
Just fine, Jack. You're gonna be just fine, Jack.
I'm having trouble breathing. Good night.
Good night. Eggs and bacon in the morning, sweetie.
And I do like their conversation on the phone after they do when they talk again, and she's all pissed off that he left. She's like, "Well,
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't want to wake you up again and have you take care of me again."
I like the said he had a concussion. He's like, we'll meet again. She's like, make sure you look hurt this time. He's like, oh, I will. And I was like, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you better look like you have a scalp injury.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm all over the place, but I mean, I guess that's kind of how it is every time. When he goes and talks to that other doctor of, what was he a doctor of again? I know he's a doctor. The guy that tells him about like,
Oh, the wolf and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
like, how he asks them to bite him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I'm wondering about the whole bite thing, does it have to draw blood, or can you just give him like a little nip? And
I feel like your DNA has to mix with his DNA.
just,
Like mouth saliva, like a wolf breaks the skin and he becomes a wolf. So I think
could
the
they
same thing.
just do
'cause I
like
think
the Blood Brothers thing,
yeah,
or does it have to be a bite?
yeah.
Like, are there rules to the wolf thing? Like, is that one of the rules? Because he talks about rules.
And he only knows a couple, and we never
Yeah.
get to hear the others. But that's
Yeah.
for Wolf 2.
Yeah, Wolf 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Howl at the moon. Because like when he bites James Spader, he draws blood.
I like
So
that too.
I think, But yeah, so I felt bad for that guy because he wanted to be bit.
Well,
And
because
then
he's
he's
like
maybe
terminally ill.
Yeah, he's like, maybe you change your mind, come back if you believe me. And then
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He just becomes a wolf. Sorry, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that after at the end. I'm like, oh man, that guy's just gonna die.
Poor
He
guy.
could have just become a wolf and not died.
What was his line? You'd rather be damned than dead.
Well, he's like, well, just because you're a demon doesn't mean you're evil.
Yeah, he's like, in my
He's like, it's just about the
beliefs, that's not a thing in my belief. So yeah, wake
Like-
up, Jack.
And you know, obviously James Spader is evil, so he becomes an evil butthole wolf.
Which I knew it was him. Like
Yeah.
once the wife died, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, James Spader's one." Because then I remembered, I was
Yeah.
like, "He got bit.
Yep.
He's a fucking wolf."
He's
Which
the one
that was
going
a
around being dicks. I like that though when they call her, or I don't was it. Oh yeah, they're in the car and he's like, "Oh, I hear your phone ringing," and then she goes and answers it, and it's that
the
guy, and he's
police, the
telling like, "Oh
detective, yeah,
yeah," doesn't he tell her like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to bother with
because there
him."
was canine DNA in
Yeah,
the.
so he's fine. It was a
Because yeah,
dog.
that's when it starts hitting her. She's like, "Oh, like he is," because he's like, "Oh, I
But
can
I
hear
think she
your."
suspects him, but I'm pretty sure it was Spader that killed his wife.
Oh, it definitely was because yeah, Jack didn't do it.
Yeah.
He just went out howling at the moon and then came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
'cause I think Spader even admits to it, but yeah, I knew it was him when like they said his wife died. I was like,
Man, I would have been creeped out by the way he was acting at the police station too.
dude, and his like eyes, and he's like all close to her, and he like smells her. And the weird one was when he like smells her crotch before he
Yeah.
leaves. I was like,
Yeah. It's just yeah.
and I like how she's really good at playing it cool and normal. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, totally. He's like, don't break her date. I won't. And then
I won't.
immediately fucking
I would have done the same thing.
yeah. He was a fucking lunatic at the end.
Yeah. And then make sure nobody gets past the gate. All right.
And he shows up and just rams through the dude after saying some really gross shit at first.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
looks
entire
like,
line. I don't want to like a fuckable meat or something like that. What was it? A good fuck of some kind. The fuck of the year.
Fuck of the millennium or something.
Yeah. And that guy's like, bust her back up, and then
yeah, get out of here. Oh, okay.
there's a cool detail I loved when he hits that guy and he's still driving. The guy falls off and the car does the bump and then it keeps going. You see the guy actually rolling. So I was like, oh, it's fucking cool. Like they did that well where it actually like bumps and
the
you
other
see the
guy
body.
yeah.
Just fucking throat torn out. That guy was so nice too, man.
I know.
Paul or whatever his name was.
I know. I felt bad for him.
It's always the nice ones of like, ma'am, don't go in the woods. We found a dead deer. She's like,
all right, cool.
Make sure this place is locked down. Don't let anybody through. Okay, and then dead, immediately dead.
Hey, dude, you're not supposed to be here. Yeah. I was about to go home.
I was about to clock out for the night.
Are you sure it wasn't a husky or a?
No one believed him. I'm like, it was a fucking wolf.
It was a wolf.
And even Jack Nicholson's like, yeah, when you're that close to a wolf, you know,
like I don't know why he didn't bring up that there was a pack of them. Like there was multiple wolves when he looked up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
in New Hampshire.
Yeah, because you know there's just a big New Hampshire, a big pack of dogs. Like I'm surprised they weren't like, "Are you sure it wasn't a big pack of dogs?" Well, they did say it was a dog, but I'm like, they're in a pack, dude.
And
I could see them.
Huge. There is a size difference between a dog and a fucking wolf. So
I mean, yeah, huskies can get pretty fucking big. Like my brother's husky is pretty fucking huge, but not bigger than a wolf. No, I mean there are smaller wolves. There's variations, but they're fucking big still. Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. Nah.
Around here?
No.
And I loved that the guy that he goes and sees, he's like, a wolf, huh? That's very no, not suspicious. They say auspicious. I don't remember what he's auspicious. But even he was like, oh, March 8th, that's when the moon was closest to the earth it's ever been. I was like, this guy fucking gets it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about when he's talking about the books and I'm not looking for like animal possessions. Like what was it like?
Not possessing an animal, but demonic possession of an animal. Yeah. That's pretty good. That whole fucking computer crash. I lost my momentum. It's
I know.
gone.
Damn it.
It's fucking gone. So get close to wrapping this up, but the end fight scene. Like, okay, by the way, this is totally not him. This is definitely that fucking like stunt double. Like, look at that face.
Yeah. And why do you need a stunt double to lay in a bale of hay?
Maybe it was like a stand-in, like he wasn't there. So they're like, put the thing on him. We need this shot. Jack's out doing something else. He's off.
Yeah, he's got something else better to do than film a movie. He's supposed to be
fucking Jack Nicholson. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But The
I did
end,
notice that. Yes.
yeah. I love the end fight scene because like this shot kept coming up
Yeah.
of like these faces slamming together, but I couldn't tell if they're fake or not. It feels like they were fake because they're almost so like unnatural
Yeah.
in the way they move.
And the
Because
way
like
they
when
just
it
kind of,
would,
because they don't like show like,
it's super quick shots of this.
yeah, yeah,
But then when like it would show James Spader his close-ups, the makeup was just like kind of normal. He had like the cheekbones and the hair. But then when
yeah,
it was his stunt double jump into the air, suddenly it was like kind of a full wolf's mask. So I'm like, that's
yeah.
a good way to get around like, a stunt double. But I'm like, the guy's mask looks better than James Spader's face.
Right. All right. Put on the sick wolf mask.
Yeah, now you're Spader. You're Spader Wolf.
Yeah.
Spader Wolf versus Jack Wolf. Wolfman Jack. Oh, Wolfman Jack says someone's at the front door. And also, if James Spader didn't jump in slow motion, she wouldn't have had the time to lay all those bullets in him so perfectly because he was just
Right.
slow mo. So she was able to
Yeah.
just
She's like,
aim
bam, bam,
perfectly.
bam, bam. Yeah. Because he's flying. He's like, oh, he's going in for the kill. This is it. He's got to
Cheers.
make it dramatic. And
Going
she comes out in normal speed.
She's like, oh, he's falling. So this will be easy. Pop, 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 pop.
And that's how it ends.
Which, when she came out all in black,
Yeah.
turtleneck on, acting all cool, it's like she put makeup on. She's a fucking wolf now.
Yeah.
She got bit. She's a fucking wolf. All in black. She's
so it
walking.
must have been. It was Spader that bit her. Then
I'm guessing so because in that fight, that struggle, it must have been him. Like scratched her or bit her. But when she's like walking away, she tells the detective, like, "Do you want another gin and tonic or whatever?" He's like, "How does she know?" And he's like, "I smelt it on you." I was like, "Oh, she's a fucking wolf."
She's a wolf.
And there was that weird shot of like this, like faded into like him running, faded back into this, then dissolved back into him with like the nose and stuff like that. It was a very weird couple shots
and then
towards
like
the end.
this like end part where it kind of transforms into the wolf, and it's just the wolf eyes.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
But see, that to me, that part wouldn't have been so weird if the music wasn't so weird. Like it made it almost too like happy and I'm like, no, dude, this is supposed to be like a creepy ending to where like she's a wolf, he's turning into real wolf. She covered all this up. Apparently James Spader's body's gone. I don't know.
Yeah. Like what's up with that? Or no, it was there. He just like, remember, he transforms back into a normal looking person.
Oh, okay. I thought she like
she comes out and she goes, oh, well, she says that what's the other guy got away. She didn't realize. She heard him knock on the door and then he left. And then she's like, oh, I heard some gunshots, but I didn't come out.
Because weren't they saying that the guard killed James Spader?
Yeah.
Before him dying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, oh, Jack's on the run.
Seriously, you really think that's how it went down? He was all the way like in that pool thing, whereas that guy was laying sideways with his neck torn out.
Well, he tore his neck out. And while the guy was bleeding slowly in his last few moments, managed to get that many shots off on this guy in his chest, even though he was facing away. He made those bullets curve back. It's fucking New York police. They're like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm fucking tired.
Like, yep, cool. That's how it happened.
Yep, done. Go home. I want another gin and tonic.
Is it a curse though? Like, because the one guy makes it seem like it wouldn't be because he'd get to live.
Yeah,
but, I mean, how long do you live?
Well, I think
did that and like in that sense, did that wolf like throw itself out there, and is it like just throwing itself in front of cars to perpetuate wolf people? Like, I don't like. Maybe I'm looking too much into like where like the whole like wolf lore part of it comes from, because they don't touch on it much at all.
I don't know if it's. I think the way that the doctor guy brought it up, it's only a curse if you think it is, if the way you look at it, your beliefs and stuff. Because he's like, it's to some people it's like a gift because you're like, oh, cool, you get all these powers, but it also at the end of the day, the wolf ends up consuming you and you just become a wolf. And like some people's belief, it's like, that's cool, I want to be a wolf. Like to normal people, like, I don't want to be dead, I don't want to be a wolf. So I think I don't know if it's a curse. I guess just the way you look at it. But I definitely did feel that the wolf. I guess
there's a lot of intelligence behind that first wolf in the beginning.
Because like it opens his eyes, sees him, and closes it again.
Yeah.
Then bites him and runs off. So it's like, got another.
So if you become a wolf, then you are of human brain and can still cognitively think like a human.
I think in small doses, I think it takes over. Like the wolf takes you over and you become a wolf. So I think like down to like basic, you have like basic human instincts again of like, oh, this is a person. Oh, I'm gonna fuck this person's day up by like jumping over their car and biting them. I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're
Just a wolf
just a
doing wolf
wolf,
stuff.
just a wolf man. I don't know. Yeah,
A
like
man
there's
wolf. Like, because
it.
wouldn't it kind of suck to have like human thought being trapped in like a dog's body,
Yes.
or not a dog. I mean, because I mean, not well, a wolf
Mhm.
trapped inside of any sort of animal that like you just that forever. That's it. Maybe that wolf was trying to end it.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
like,
you know what?
fuck, I
I didn't
survived.
die.
Well, I'm taking someone else down with me. Now you're a wolf.
Now we're just creating background lore.
Which is like, which was a cool aspect of the movie is like, as much as I wanted to learn more about it, I liked not knowing because we only know as much as Jack Nicholson's character knows. And
Yeah.
that's really cool. Like, we don't get a weird like exposition intro of like, back in the day, the wolves used to rule the world, like nothing like that. So it was like, we only knew what he knew, and what we know ended with him. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's more rules to wolf kind. Don't know it. So like, it was a cool aspect of like, just in this moment of like wolves.
Yeah, they had a talk with him when he became a wolf. They're like, rule number one, this is where you poop. You don't just poop everywhere. Just because we're wolves, we don't poop everywhere.
Yeah, people think that's a misconception. Just because we're outside, you can go over. No, 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 no.
No,
There's
there's
still a
spot for
bathroom
that.
area. All right.
There's a spot for that. We're not savages.
Yeah,
We're wolves.
Should we rate it?
Let's rate it. You go on ahead.
You go ahead. I go first.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
you go
right.
first.
Sure, maybe I go first. I want to give this movie only because the music didn't fit. I'm gonna give this movie 7.8 owls. That's the sound of a wolf howling at the moon,
At the moon.
or in general, but mostly at the moon. But yeah,
That's a
7.8 owls.
that's a good score.
Yeah, like it was a really good movie. I actually, other than it being super fucking quiet, I really liked
Yeah.
this movie. The idea of it, the pacing of it, the like it not being just a horror movie and just like having, a cool supernatural like story behind it, but at the end of the day also being just like this not overage, but like middle-aged man, like his life's getting fucked at the beginning and then getting like a better life out of it.
Yeah.
So like
I'm giving
the
I think
music, the music took it down for me. And then I thought that's pretty much it. Because other than that, it was a great fucking movie.
giving it the same score. I like it for its like effects, and it has like sort of a cheesiness to it,
But in a
but
good
like in a
way.
good, yeah, like in a really cool way. Only, and it's from '94, so you got to take it for what it is,
Yeah.
and like the era and the budget. But again, the music, it's
That's the one thing that
and
threw me off.
when I'm thinking about it, this is like I'm bringing up the other movie, Cat People. This is what Cat People like could have like had to it if they didn't want to go too deep with it, like with the lore part,
Mhm.
because it got you and me to think about like a lore past the couple of rules that you learn.
I think
It's a
this
bit,
movie does better than Cat People in the fact that I care about Jack Nicholson.
yeah,
I care about his character development. I care about secondary characters too. Like, just it was a stronger character in the movie that I actually like cared for. I wanted to see what happened to him. And just stuff. Like, as Cat People, I'm like, I don't know this fucking lady.
yeah. Who
What's
are
going
you?
on? Yeah, and they didn't do a good job like building her up to the point of like, should I root for you? But
And then the random like they're just random stuff,
Mhm.
just stuff that pops out in the movie that is never explained.
But I
You
like
know,
this. This was great. A right amount of explanation.
and it's cool because they don't beat around the bush at the beginning of the movie.
Just like
It's
bam, gets bit by a wolf.
bam, bit by a wolf. Here's the setup. Now you know what's going on.
Guys, I just want to tell you, if you enjoyed this and enjoy things like this, always go to the Project Nerd channel, Project-Nerd. Check it out, project-nerd.com.
It's pretty sweet. They got some sweet stuff.
And I'm not saying that facetiously. I know I have a tone in my voice, but I really do mean it. I got a lot of cool shit. Please check it out.
I don't hear it.
Really, I have a tone, and when I watch these things back, I'm like, man, I sound like I'm fucking dogging on that. But I swear to God, not dogging
Me,
on it.
I feel like I sound sarcastic,
I think that's just our tone. We're just like,
but
oh
I'm
yeah,
so,
it's a really great place.
yeah. Oh, that movie's real good, man. I
Oh,
really, really, really liked
oh,
it.
this show is really good. I'm like, no,
No, I'm not being sarcastic. This was cool.
it's a really good movie. It's a really good website. Go check it out. We're on it. Others
Yeah,
are on it.
we're on it. Yeah.
That's the end of that. For Two Guys, One Film, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And that
And
is
thank you.
you.
And yeah.
That's
Thanks
it.
for watching.
See you next time. Ooh, we've never said that before.
Whoa.
Whoa. See you next time.
Right here.